Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to Vaesen Beneath the Masks. We are now into session 11, where our wonderful heroes and heroine has rescued a lady from drowning in the canal, who fell in under somewhat mysterious circumstances. They were able to fast talk their way out of the scrutiny of the local carabinieri, who thought they may have been responsible, and have now safely ensconced themselves back at the villa. So, we're welcomed again by Jim, Blake, and Sharon. Let's roll. So, Severino, you can fall asleep at the drop of a hat.
Yep. Trying to
Fairly
get a good
well.
night's sleep.
What's left of it? I mean, it must be 4 o'clock in the morning by now, so you only get a couple more hours. Agatha?
Is very drenched, but does not want to wake up Artemisia.
Artemisia? Yep.
So she will restoke her fire and change her clothes and try and get some more sleep.
Your room feels actually rather warm and cozy, and it's like one big giant hug. Severino, something evil has just left your window open, just a crack, just enough to let a bit of a cold draft come in. Not enough to make it uncomfortable, but just enough to, give you that scratchy throat when you wake up in the morning.
Right.
And Bennett, wow. Bennett, Blake, Bennett. Okay. Dr. Bennett, you are doing some midnight oil research?
Yes, but before I do that, so I have a mental condition currently.
Yes.
How do I go about healing that?
It requires 1 day of rest and relaxation in a warm, comfortable environment where you have access to food and water.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, then yes, I'm particularly I'm looking for the new critical details we got is the sparkling blue water, the woman crying, and also a red-haired woman,
Yep.
basically, or red-haired Vaesen, I suppose.
Red-haired Vaesen?
Yeah.
Sure. Give me a learning roll, but take 1 dice from it, because I'm penalising you because it is 3 o'clock in the morning. You have been up since yesterday morning. You are now seriously fatigued.
Yeah. Well, 3 successes.
You know what? You might be tired to all hell, but damn it, you just got 3 successes. So you go looking through the library and you're able to find one of those things that you're looking for. So tell me, what are you looking for? Because you gave me 3 options and all 3 can fall into 3 very different categories.
I'm gonna open it to the group. Is the sparkling blue water or the red-haired Vaesen gonna be better?
I think the sparkling blue water,
Because
they could be land-based red hair ones, so yeah, that may not help.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for sparkling blue water.
All right. So you do some research. To start off with, you actually look at some scientific books to understand what it is. And believe it or not, you find an answer. Actually, you find some really good information. So you're flicking through this book and it references stories from fishermen who recount seeing the water turn blue, usually along the shore. and it's a known phenomenon. It's not very common, but it does happen. And scientists have very, very recently attributed it to bioluminescent algae. So it's an aquatic life that glows blue. It's like an algal blue. That bioluminescence is actually really amazing. So Google it. It's stunningly beautiful. That's what you see. What really clinches it for you, though, this particular algae has a very distinctive odor. Rotting fish.
I don't know how to feel about this, to be honest. These people were killed by algae. Okay. I did Google it, by the way, and it does look amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. So it's actually a known natural phenomenon. Well.
Yes. No, it is.
Yeah.
It exists.
Yeah.
And that's what happens. As it breaks down, it makes this pungent, fishy ammonia smell, which is exactly what you smelled on the dead body and on the live one.
Okay.
The description of it matches what Severino saw. So with a reasonable degree of confidence, you can go, somehow this is related. It has to be.
I think, and in his tired, grumpy state, he just writes bioluminescent algae. Like, it smells of rotten fish on a piece of paper. He sticks it on like the bedroom, the breakfast table, and then he goes to bed. So it can be someone else's problem when they wake up to carry the baton from there.
Yep.
And then he is going to try to get some sleep because, yeah, he's tired.
Yep, fair enough. I don't blame you at all. So, morning rolls around. Artemisia isn't full. No one's going to disturb you until you are all good and ready to get up. So, when you finally do decide to show yourselves downstairs, there'll be food ready for you. There's lots of coffee.
I think I'll read the papers, the local
strong
papers.
tea. Yeah.
Having brekkie.
Yeah, absolutely. So you come down, and Artemisia sorts you out with your bread and coffee, and Vittorio hands you the newspaper, and you just start flicking through it while you're having your coffee. And it discusses Aldo Tossi. So a young gondolier, Aldo Tossi, has been found deceased in the canals. The Carabinieri suggested that he fell into the canal at some point in the early hours of the morning and drowned. A nearby resident said they heard the sound of a woman weeping and then splashing, presumably when Tossi went into the water to rescue the damsel. A coal ship has run aground off the island of Murano. The pilot misread the treacherous currents around the Faros and hit a sandbar. The ship is expected to be refloated at the next high tide. There are rumours of a madman seen in Venice during the night hours, wearing a hooked mask and a long cloak. People are being warned to stay away from the man until he's apprehended. There are reports of smoke haze in the mountains north of the Dolomites. It appears that there is a fire burning in the mountains and may have been ignited by farmers cleaning up the fields. The formation of the Kingdom of Italy is complete. Italy is reunited. Long live the king.
The ship running aground.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there a ship accident a couple of months ago? Because I remember there was like grain and silk on the ship. And I'm like, this sounds more like an offering or something than it does. Like, why were those two things on the ship together? It was just odd.
Yep.
So this ship that run aground, what was on it? Was it like a passenger ship or a cargo ship? Or
Coal. Now, you've been here long enough. You know Murano is where they make a lot of the glass. It's the glass blowing centre of Venice.
okay.
So coal, presumably full of furnaces. And the Fardos is the lighthouse.
Anything on the plague that they had been talking about previously?
Not in today's session of the newspaper. There doesn't seem to be. It seems maybe it's blown over. And Dr. Bennett, have you come down as well?
Yeah, he'll come down a little bit later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Later?
Well,
Okay.
like, as in a little bit after other people came down, but probably still while everyone's at the breakfast table.
Sure. But either way, there's a note for you that's arrived this morning. And when you appear downstairs, Vittorio will give it to you.
Thank you. He'll open it.
You open this piece of paper, and it's in a heavyweight paper, good quality paper, and you see this very familiar scroll. Dear son, please come and see me at the Ospedale Wednesday at 2 p.m. Ask for me at reception. Dr. Walter Bennett.
What's the name of that place again?
You've been there before. That's where the hospital is.
Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. And what is Wednesday to today?
2 days hence. Daddy's in town.
All of a sudden, Bennett needs a stronger drink than a tea. Yeah, he's just gonna bottle that bad boy up to process later, and then sort of while like sipping a coffee, be like, "Did anyone look into the algae?"
Did everyone see the note?
Wasn't sure
Did no one
what
check
you.
my note?
I saw it, but I'm like, is this a breakfast order? What is it? An algae?
No. It's the reasoning. It's what we saw last night. It's what people have been seeing when they describe the blue sparkling water. It's a fascinating natural phenomenon.
Okay, wait. So, are you suggesting this thing, this Vaesen is the algae, or the algae is reacting to the presence of the Vaesen?
Well, that was precisely what I was hoping that would have been the case.
Right. Okay.
I suspect, I don't even know, potentially, yeah, it's a symptom of this particular Vaesen appearing. It seems to come and go when these events transpire. Obviously, the scientific explanation for this has no correlation with drownings or anything like that.
Or doesn't it? I mean, if they get the algae in their lungs, did you find anything like that when you did
Nothing
the
showed up.
thingy?
I saw nothing in the autopsy that suggests there had been any kind of influence on the bodily functions. It's possible. It's possible it's something that I've not encountered before, but I saw nothing in the autopsy that made me think. Yeah, something had an effect either in the lungs or the stomach. And that none of that goes to explain the mysterious redhead that the lady claims to have seen.
Yes. There's part of my brain saying we've missed something. I'm not sure what it is.
Well, one question perhaps is what the young man was doing at the canal at that hour in order to even attempt to save.
You gentlemen can probably answer that. I mean...
Yes, there are... you may not be aware of this, Miss Harwell, but there is a certain kind of gentleman, who has certain needs, you see. And then he can't finish that.
Yeah, she's just, being a shit and watching him get all flustered.
I like that he can cut open a body, but he can't talk about prostitutes.
Or sex.
Yeah, it's the British way.
I am aware of the young woman's occupation, young man.
Yes, it's my understanding that our victim was known to socialize with a few of those particular women.
Well, that does explain the nighttime sojourn then.
Yes, but
That's not why we were out. We were out looking for the, trying to figure out what's going on.
Of course you were. I mean, that's why Bennett came home stolen with lavender. Absolutely.
that is clearly the only reason we were there. I mean, I suppose the other angle to consider are the victims, and what they may or may not have in common. I mean, so far, both of the victims that we're aware of are directly connected.
Yes,
to
we can go and talk to, was it Letitia or something?
Lucia.
Lucia, yeah. Go and talk to them. If they're related to the gondolier guy, or attended the same party, or the same blood type, or whatever, some sort of link, then there may be a link between victims, as you say. But we need to go and talk to her to find that out.
Do also have a very long shot of, because when we were reading the newspaper, it did make me go back and look at my newspaper notes from way back when. And there was a body found in the canal weeks ago at this point, near the Holy Cross, I've written. I don't know if that's right.
Santa Claudia, yeah.
I didn't actually put a gender. They were found without a foot, which doesn't quite necessarily line up, but it is a drowning. Well, it is a body in the canal. Could be a third point to investigate. But I also do like the idea of talking to, I mean, someone, of course, to talk to the lady, Lucia.
You're going to have to find her, but yes, it can be done.
Yeah, I did think about that when we were shuffling off, but I was like,
so you
take my
said
card.
you chatted with one of the ladies of the night before. If you could find her again, she might be able to point you in the right direction.
Potentially.
Oh, you're squirming. I love watching Bennett squirm.
Really,
adorable.
Doctor?
Where's a corpse without a foot when you need one?
Give the man a hand.
Yeah. And I guess there's still more research that could be done as well. She has stated that she saw a red-headed woman that seems of note in Venice. I think that would be a semi-rare occurrence.
So while you're sitting there discussing things, there's a knock at the door. And Artemisia goes to get it, and while she's gone, Victoria looks at you and goes, there's a woman that's coming here today. You do need to meet her. You need to make a good impression on her.
All of us, or just the doctor, or
all of you? And he looks at you and is very grave and serious.
Oh, well, you've met this person before? You asked her to come?
I did, because we need their help. We've been helping each other for centuries. So it's time for you to meet. I'm not Vaesen specialist like we are, but something similar. And as he's speaking, Artemisia walks into the room and she's followed by a woman. She is a woman in her 40s. Her attire, it's very simple, very rustic, very homespun. You would go so far as to say this is peasant attire, something someone will wear way up in the mountains. She follows Artemisia into the dining room and looks at all three of you. Good morning. I hope I'm not interrupting your breakfast.
No, not at all. You're welcome to have some. Thank you for coming.
Please sit down and join us.
Thank you. And she does sit down at the table and she will confidently pour herself a cup of tea. She's no shrinking violet. She knows her P's and Q's, but she also knows she's confident, you know. I presume Victoria has told you who I am? And he looks at her and kind of
Just that we
blushes a little
should
bit.
be polite and extend courtesy. We didn't get too far into it.
Victoria. Oh,
We've been busy with the case lately. It's not all.
so I've heard. Let me introduce myself. My name is Benedanti Anna La Rosa. Do you know about the Benedanti?
I'm afraid you have us at a disadvantage, madame.
Victoria, Victoria, Victoria. She looks at him and just shakes her head. It is difficult to explain what we are, but in a very simplistic way, we are village witches, wise women and wise men. We work in the country where nature is strongest, and our skills are used to protect our districts against malevolent entities. So we protect our communities, help the crops grow, heal, and help to maintain the balance between humans and the Vaesen. So I have come because I've heard that the lamps have been lit once again, and that you are continuing the work of Signor Attilo Marinari. This is good. He was the last of the order and had been on his own for several years before his passing, so it is good to see fresh young blood here. And while I understand you did some very good work resolving the issue with little Matteo Bernardis, I question you. I question if you are ready, if you are the right people to take on the mantle.
Are you here to test us?
No, I'm not here to test you. I'm here to watch you. And I have been for several weeks now while you've been here. And what I see, you are children floundering in a world that you do not know anything about, and it scares me. This country is in strife. The spirits are unsettled and some are angry. They are scared and vengeful and agitated, and I fear you do not understand what you could be facing. We are willing to help you in some circumstances. We are by no means experts at dealing with things outside our realm, but we have a long tradition of helping the society, and I will continue that for the moment until you are able to strive and thrive in this, or you can't and leave this place once again.
Well, yes, I mean, of course, only the ignorant think they know everything. We are
Wise words, Doctor.
we are all quite new to this particular line of work. Can only speak for myself when I said I wasn't even aware I was entering this line of work when I arrived here. But yes, you can be assured that I intend to put 100% of my efforts into this and appreciate your wisdom and years of expertise, of course, as I do with Artemisia and Vittorio, and all the hospitality and help they've given us. But yes, you seem quite knowledgeable on us and our movements and the work we've done.
My people have been here in Venice for 2 or 3 years to help cover the society when its membership dwindled. We may not be the experts, but we certainly have an understanding of the Vaesen, how they operate, how to deal with it. I just fear and I'm frightened for you that you do not see the danger that they can pose. I fear you will blunder into something you cannot come back from.
We certainly appreciate your candor, Senora. And
Solution.
yes, you are putting voice to many of my own fears.
Those fears will keep you alive. The Vaesen are powerful. They're unpredictable. Some are good. And she looks at Artemisia. Some are assets, some are treasures to behold and to nurture and cherish. Others, however, want nothing more than to destroy us and everything else, to sow discord and mischief and to butcher and murder and maim, all in their own perverted sense of justice and revenge. Some do it for food, some do it out of sheer pettiness. You need to know who you're fighting before you start the fight proper. But I won't trouble you any further. Tell me, you've been here for 2 months now. You know where the arsenal is? And the arsenal is the naval yard. On the wall of the arsenale is a lion's mouth. If you need me, leave a note in there and I will come. And vice versa. If I need you and I can't come here, I will leave a note for you there. And you have seen that in your travels, so you know exactly which one she's talking about. So she looks at you gravely. If you need me, leave a message. I will come and find you. Hopefully together we can survive this. I've never seen the Vaesen act like this before. I fear this is a final war between us and them. I fear we've already won it, but they will not go quietly.
Perhaps should there not be if Venice is sort of central to this war that you speak of, is there not more experienced members of the society that should handle this? Up until a couple of months ago, I was completely unaware, well, almost completely unaware of the mysteries of this world. Seems risky to rely on one such as myself. I'm of course not shirking the responsibility, just questioning the tactic.
Vittorio has left a lot unsaid. I can understand that. We need people, we need fighters, we need explorers and researchers. We don't need to frighten people witless and senseless so they cannot help us and have no interest in helping us. What the society does is dangerous. Not many people retire, but there are several societies in Europe. Certainly one in Ireland, one in England. I think there's 3 in Europe itself, 1 in America. Actually, I lied, there's 2 in America, and so on. There are societies scattered all over the globe. But like here, membership is dwindling. It's hard to find those who are able to see with the sight. It's even harder to find those people who are stalwart enough to face the darkness and to fight it. So you, my friends, are rare indeed. Not many have the fortitude to do this. So you are precious to me. I will do what I can to keep you safe, but you must also have a very good degree of caution. That's the only reason why Tilo lived as long as he did. He was careful, he researched, he understood the problem before he approached it. The ones that don't, the hot-headed ones, the ones that reach for a gun first and their brain second, they don't last long. So bear that in mind. I have my people throughout the city. We are investigating a mystery of our own. So if you need us, we're here. We are watching you. We will help where we can. But we are few, and they are many. Just take them as words of advice. I will leave you to your breakfast and to your thoughts. Victoria, next time, tell them more. Tell them the whole story. It's not up to me to tell them. And he looks a bit put in his place, like, yes, senora. And she gets up onto her feet and smooths herself out, and good day, good luck, and be safe. I will see you around.
Thank you.
And she'll show herself out the door, and it closes shut behind her with a soft click. How's that for a lead balloon?
Yeah, Bennett just like collapses back into a chair, like,
what the fuck was that?
Well,
Don't think it would have been without caution. We've certainly spent our time in the library researching things.
Yes, you have been. You've been good. You've been good.
you roam one random canal in the middle of the night and all of a sudden you're reckless.
Yeah. Good on you, Doctor.
well, she is certainly correct in that we are rather unprepared for this world.
Undoubtedly.
Not sure what more we can do to prepare. We spend a lot of time researching stuff, with observing stuff, checking things out, asking questions. I mean,
Perhaps
well,
it is time that we learnt something of the society itself.
Victoria kind of looks a bit uneasy in his seat. He's like, oh shit. He's not making eye contact.
is there like secret hand signals or like sigils on the wall we can make? Are we supposed to be using these to contact each other on that? I don't know. Or are we not
No.
acting as efficiently as we should be?
No, and I think Dr. Bennett would say, first day of medical school, your professor tells you, you will kill someone. Right? That's like, you just got to set the expectation.
I mean, I got told the same thing in the army, but I think that's a very different circumstance.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I think Dr. Bennett's like, he sees it for the sort of grounding, not grounding talk that it's meant as, not necessarily as a direct comment on our technique.
Mm-hmm.
Agatha is still going to return to the logbook that she originally found.
Yep.
In the library, in the study.
Yep.
It was in the study, wasn't it? So
Yes, it was. Oh, I'm not going to go over it all because you guys have read the book, you understand. But in it is pretty much a succinct history of the order, from the rise as the Order of Artemis, and then the internal schism that ended up breaking off into multiple camps, and one of which kind of evolved into the society that you're involved with now. So, yeah. And that's the core of what the society is. It's not just hunting and killing Vaesen. That was the fundamental point of the schism. Not all Vaesen are evil. Some are good. Some, as Anna LaRossi said, some have to be cherished and protected because they are good and beautiful and amazing. But others, not so much. Some will want to rip your face off. And they're the ones that the society works to kill and dispatch. They also work to protect the good ones. Essentially, the society is also there to maintain a level of balance. So that's all captured in the history book. And you get a genealogy to a degree from the start of the order all the way to the schism, and then from there, the breakup. And it just then focuses on the Venetian chapter. But the genealogies are all there in a straight. It's all nice and pretty. Secret handshake signals? No, not really. The society is very secretive in and of itself. It has to be. Some society members have been killed after people have said they were witches, because they see shit. And some days that ain't good. Society was also very enlightened when it came to women. So, well, in society, it's quite normal for a woman to be wielding a sword and a pistol and to wield it with, great accuracy and as efficient as any man. A lot of outside society did not think that was appropriate behavior. So women were obviously punished and victimized as a result of that. So, yeah, they've learned to keep a lot of things that they do quiet and in secret. But the Vaesen all know who they are. But anyway.
Just to clarify, the victim, they saw like the red-haired woman in the water, so that doesn't make them gifted. They don't have the sight. They're just a victim of Vaesen doing something. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because otherwise there'd be a lot of people with
Correct.
the sight out there. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, not everyone who has a near-death experience gets a sight. It's just right person, right time, right experience, breaks something in their brain, and woohoo, I can see shit now. That's pretty much what happens. But anyway, any other questions? I think before we leave it for tonight, I know I've given you a lot to ponder.
Just a tiny bit.
Yeah. It's interesting, yeah. I guess that theoretically means that presumably if we're part of the side that went in the whole balance thing, there may or may not be a faction that is more about the killing, the purging of all of them. Just interesting.
Does it also mean there's other chapter houses we could go and raid their libraries and stuff?
Yes. You can. It's a travel or a communication, but yes, you can. Absolutely.
See what those crazy Australian society members are up to.
There'll be a small chapter, but it'll be there, and they'll be going, oh my god, what are these new Vaesen? No one's ever seen these before.
In Dubbo.
In Dubbo. Yetis, bunyets.
Yowies is the word.
Yowies, that's the one I was looking for. It's all out there. It's all new. Interesting times. All right then, folks. We'll see you for next session. I hope you enjoyed that. So feel free to follow us as we continue our journey. Things are getting interesting now. I certainly lobbed a few grenades in the mix, and there'll be more coming. So get those flak jackets and put those hard hat on. This thing is going to kick off. But we'll see what happens next week. See ya.